So welcome,
Thank
Scott
you.
Robinson,
Yeah.
owner of Win Pro Clean, right?
Win Clean Plus.
Win Clean Plus
Yes.
here in Atlanta, and you make about 500,000 a year
Yeah.
in this business,
hmm
right? So welcome to the show, man.
I appreciate it.
Welcome
Yeah.
to the
Glad
show.
to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
How did we get in this situation though? How are we on a show right now? How is this? How did we meet?
Your uncle, I guess, ran into me at a pressure washing supply company that
Yep.
I frequent, and he's just asking me about my business, and it was probably a 10-minute conversation. He told me that he had a nephew starting the same kind of business up
Yep.
in Wisconsin, and asked if I would be open to you calling me, and of course, I always love to talk to
Yeah.
anybody about this kind of business. It's always fun to chit chat, especially learn about your experience and other parts of the country as well.
Yeah, and I think I remember calling you. We talked about a lot of things, about like high rises and the different. Do you remember exactly what we talked about?
I can't recall
Exactly.
the exact conversation.
It was a while ago.
Yeah,
So,
it's been a little while.
but now, right? So you.
But I do remember having that
Yeah.
conversation.
Same. It was. I learned a lot, but it's like I can't pinpoint exactly what it was.
Right.
So you do mostly pressure washing or mostly window cleaning? Would
No,
you say? What's
we
the split?
it's we do window cleaning about 65%, pressure
Okay.
washing is about 25, and then gutter cleaning about 10.
Okay, and would you say that's like percentage of the revenue or percentage of jobs?
Revenue.
Revenue.
Yeah.
Okay. So you do a lot of window cleaning then.
Yeah. I mean, we start out. I mean, Wind Clean Plus. People think window cleaning, and that's been our kind of bread and butter. I know we make more on pressure washing jobs, but we get a lot more calls for window cleaning service.
So okay, so
So we have to do a lot of cross selling.
how did the company kind of begin? Or what were you doing before you started this?
Nothing like this at all. Once I graduated college, long time ago, I moved to Atlanta, and I was living on a friend's couch for a little while. Didn't have a job or anything. And
Okay.
I was just looking through.
After college, on a couch?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Which I was, I had no problem. College, you're living on couches most of the time anyway. But yeah, I just needed a job to pay bills and get my own place, and I ended up getting a job at an insurance company doing customer service. And then after about a couple of years doing that, I moved up to sales, did that for a couple of years. And then I ended up getting laid off, and I went to another insurance company, and I did account management for them. I was doing a lot of traveling and stuff, and that was kind of cool, but I was never really passionate about it. Insurance was kind of dull to me.
Yeah.
And I didn't particularly like sitting in offices all day or, dressing up. Well, this is dressed up for me now.
Yeah.
But I used to wear a suit and tie, and,
Yep.
I'd have to go visit different agencies and try to get them to sell more of our insurance. And, it wasn't a thrill, but I ended up getting laid off in 2008. There was a big financial crisis going on then.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little one.
So I was a part of layoffs during that time, and so at first I was thinking about just going back into insurance because I'd had 10 years of experience, and that was where all my work experience was. So I was going to buy an insurance agency, so I didn't have to worry about any more layoffs or anything like that. I could just build my own business. But at that point in time in 2008, there weren't many banks loaning any money, especially to an insurance agency where there wasn't any real collateral. It was just like a book of insurance business.
Yes.
So I wasn't getting any loans, and I was wanting to buy an agency, so where there was already an established book of business.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
But it was a blessing in disguise that I didn't get a small business loan or anything like that. So I had to readjust and try to figure out something else.
Okay.
My father-in-law at the time, he's always been an entrepreneur, and he's really successful in his business, but he's also had little side businesses that he's done, and he was like, he was looking at the Fortune 500 franchises, and he found a window cleaning business kind of somewhere in the middle, and that was kind of what sparked the idea. It was like, hey, you could do this. I was always a pretty hard worker. I didn't mind getting my hands dirty, and I didn't really have to go back to college and get a degree for that. I just watched some CDs at the time, or DVDs.
No YouTube?
No, there was no
CDs.
YouTube.
Wow.
This was I've been doing this for 16 years. So back in 2010, YouTube might have been something for just like a video, some fun videos, but it wasn't like a whole lot of tutorial videos or anything like that. So I just started watching DVDs on how to clean a window and and just
DVDs.
Yeah,
wow.
Pretty much trained myself and just started printing out a bunch of flyers and putting them around my neighborhood. And
did you have a lot of success when you just started?
No.
No.
But nobody just has a lot of success right when they start. It's always going to be a building phase. You're going to have to get your name out there. You're going to have to put your go around, knock on doors, or I was going to a lot of different storefronts, different restaurants and boutiques and stuff, seeing if they needed their windows cleaned. So I started building kind of a small route where every Friday I would go just do storefronts all day. And then Monday through Thursday I was trying to do residential. So after about, I don't know, about 3 or 4 years of doing that, I started getting enough business with residential that I was cutting in, that Friday was really cutting into my residential
And that's
work.
where most of the money's in residential versus storefront.
Yeah. Storefront at the time you're making like $20 to $40 per storefront, and you're having to move your equipment around, and it's just, and it was kind of dull doing the same windows every single week.
For cheap too.
Yeah, for cheap. Yeah, so it was a lot of work for not a lot, but what's good about those is that it's residual income. You can count on it. Yeah. So, but eventually I started, my residential was just building a lot more.
When would you say it went from, okay, I can do this, I can make money doing this, to we can scale this to a $500,000 a year operation?
I don't think I really thought about scaling until probably the last 5 to 7 years. I mean, I just did it for like the first 8 to 9 years or so. I was just doing it just to pay bills, and I enjoyed it. I started enjoying it a lot more, and I was getting better at
it's
it.
It's like you get a high, It's like you get a
there's
job.
always immediate gratification after a job's done, because you're like, oh, I did that. It looks so nice, and the customer's always really happy.
And you get paid right then.
Yeah,
you don't need to wait a month.
Right. Yeah. So that's all it was for me for several years, and I would have employees, usually like one employee that would just help me out on jobs.
Yeah.
But as I started getting a little older and started thinking about retirement and like what am I doing? Where do I want this to take me?
Yes.
And the only logical thing was to scale and try to hire more people and take myself out of the van and just run the business
instead of being in the field,
doing all the work. Yeah.
Okay, so kind of the past 7 years. I mean, I've been in business for probably 3 years myself, so that's a long time for me.
Yeah, well, I wish I had started when I was your age. I wasted 10 years. I don't want to say I wasted, because I don't have any regrets on working in insurance and stuff. I still, had a good life and learned a lot. But I definitely wish I had started a lot younger. I feel like I would have been at a different place by now.
Yeah, probably just the compounding effect. But speaking of like going places, what is your future plan here for scaling it in the next 5 to 7 years? Let's use that time frame here.
Yeah, my 5-year plan is to have 5 trucks out. Right now I have 3. We're running 2 of them right now. So one's just kind of sitting there waiting for another crew. I'm hoping to add a couple more guys as we're getting closer to spring. So we're having all 3 of those vans out. And over the next 5 years, add a couple more vans. That's really what I'd like to do. And I think by then I would be out of doing any of the work. I still get pulled in, guys call in sick, or they just don't show up anymore. You got a lot of that. So it kind of pulls you back in, so where you're back holding the squeegee again until you hire somebody else and you got to train them.
Tough.
And it's just a cycle. Yeah.
The up and down. Would you say that cycle is largely affected by the seasonality here in Georgia?
I mean, my last employee left mostly because, you know, he left in November, and I could tell he was like, every time he'd show up in the morning, he's like, "Oh my gosh!" I'm like, "It's 50 degrees, man. This isn't anything compared to what you're about to deal with." And yeah, it was one day when it was like about 30, and he just didn't show up. You know, and it was going to get warmer throughout the day, but yeah, it was. I knew the writing was on the wall for him. So not everybody is like that. You know, not everybody's bothered by the cold weather, but yeah, I think sometimes it could deal. You know, we get really busy in spring and summer. It's hot, you know, down here in Georgia. So I mean, people can get burned out or work, you know, too hard, so where they don't. You know, they don't have a passion to wake up and go do this every single day, you know?
In the hot.
Yeah.
It's hot.
Yeah.
What about, you mostly do traditional now, right? Or are you starting to dabble in the water-fed pole?
A little bit of both. I mean, yeah, we do traditional first. We do have a water-fed pole system. I've got one.
Okay.
I'll probably buy another one in spring. But I really wanted to get comfortable with it myself before I started handing it over to my guys and letting them to do it. But, you know, most of the time we're using that on commercial buildings that just have high windows that we don't want to get a ladder up on. There's a lot of homes here in Atlanta that are modern style homes. So there's a lot of big windows and they're really high up. So these are very effective for that. Yeah.
Do you find using the water-fed pole for every single window is worth it? Like on a residential home, normal home, like a 2-story?
Not always. I mean, sometimes it's kind of awkward if you're doing it at a 1-story level. I mean, unless you're just really, you know, I don't know if you've got a really long pole and you're trying to do it, you know, in a short span of space. But, you know, but then again, if I feel like sometimes if I've already got the equipment out and I'm already doing the high ones, then I'm gonna do the low ones too.
Yep.
But again, I don't use it a lot on residential, probably, 5% of the jobs. Okay. And it's usually when I've already been to that house before and I know the windows aren't gonna be that dirty.
Yeah.
If it's a first time customer, I'm definitely gonna do it at traditional style where you're nose to glass and you're having to use steel wool or whatever to remove things that might be stuck on the windows. Yeah.
I think that's something I'm probably gonna have to change with mine because I only do 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, the young guys, man, just the young man's game, just water-fed pole all the windows.
Yeah, no, I've used water-fed poles before on a house where I was like, oh man, this is definitely one of those times where I need a water-fed pole.
Yeah.
And I used it for half the house, and then the wife called me inside to ask me about something, and as I'm walking through there, I'm looking at the windows that I've already cleaned, and they didn't look that great. I realized that she still had like paint overspray on her windows and stuff that, you know, water-fed pole's not going to get off.
Not easily, yeah.
No, so I was...
Or maybe like you could experiment, but you can't even see it unless you're really nose to glass.
Right, yeah. So yeah, I had no idea that she had that much paint on her windows until I'd already cleaned them and they still didn't look good. I was like,
yeah.
I have to redo these.
That's the feeling when you go inside and you look at the window you just cleaned and you're like, I thought I cleaned that.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I thought I cleaned that. Wow. So what would you say is the biggest challenge you faced? You've been growing this business for how many years exactly?
16.
16. So in those 16 years, what would you say is the biggest challenge? And what did you learn from that challenge and change moving forward?
I'm still learning, but it's got to be employees. And I hear it from most business owners. It's, you know, getting the right people in place to do the work at a level that you're happy with. You know, nobody's ever going to put in as much effort as you're going to put in because this is your baby and you want it to grow and everything to be perfect. You want every customer to be like, think that it was a 5-star experience. And you know, honestly, when you're hiring guys, they're your girls. You know, they don't have that passion and they just want to get through the day and they want to get a paycheck and they don't put that extra emphasis on what their job is, you know. And then you also deal with people that they don't have a strong work ethic. They sound really good on the phone when you're interviewing
They're good at
them.
talking.
And you know, I'll have a FaceTime interview as well on the phone, and They all seem great, and then within like about 30 days, you start seeing their true colors. They're showing up late. Their work isn't great. You start getting callbacks from customers about things that they did on the job or stuff. So, without a doubt, just dealing with different.
Oh man, bless me. All right, sneeze.
Just dealing with different personalities and trying to keep a full staff is always the challenge.
Yeah, definitely. What would you say you've changed in your vetting process? Because like you said, sometimes on the FaceTime and then in person, they're not showing up as well.
Yeah.
Like, how do you vet them while in the hiring process?
That's a good question, and I don't want my answer to get me in trouble, but I do find that certain individuals have done better in this type of work than others. I mean, there's been times I started doing FaceTime interviews, and just so I could see the person. Before, I would just do a phone interview, and I would have another interview over the phone, and then, the first time I met them might have been like on the first day. Mm-hmm. Now I'm doing, FaceTime calls before I hire them. And, there are people that think they're up for the work, up for the challenge, that aren't physically capable of going up and down ladders all day long, or carrying ladders, or getting up on roofs and walking around on roofs and cleaning out gutters. So. Mm-hmm. It does take somebody that is in shape. I'm not ideal specimen, but I mean, it keeps you in shape, and you gotta, you can't be climbing a ladder if you're 350 pounds. I mean, obviously.
Have you hired someone who's 350 pounds? Before?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's what I've had to learn the hard way. I was like, oh wow, okay, let's try to work this out.
The ladder has how much weight capacity?
Well, that was a problem. He wasn't able to do too much ladder work, and
350 pounds is like over ladder capacity.
Yeah,
right there.
It was. So now that's part of the reason that I won't hire people that are, heavier than most, because it does limit their ability to do the job. If they can't go up on a ladder, then that
legally they can't go. Like legally, they can't go on a ladder.
Right. So it's that is one. I like candidates that have families, that have children, are a little older. I don't want to say I age discriminate, but there are, if somebody has a family and they have kids or something, they're working for something more than themselves.
They have bills to pay.
Yeah, they have bills to pay, and they're not going to miss work like somebody right out of high school that's still living with their parents and doesn't have that many responsibilities. So I do kind of take that into consideration when I'm vetting.
Yeah, I've hired mostly younger guys, just because I'm younger myself. I've hired one, like 55-year-old.
Yeah.
And he was great, but he just wasn't fast.
Oh yeah.
Like you want to get the job done quicker. It's
right.
like we're making money here.
Yeah.
And he was just, it's not like he was trying to be slow. It's just like age got him. He's been working his whole life.
Yeah.
He's slowing down. The reason I kept him is because he gave me a loan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my employee gave me a loan to buy a van.
Oh, okay.
So I felt indebted to him, literally.
Yeah.
So I had to keep working on him, but
yeah,
hiring people for me is definitely a big challenge, and discerning.
Like, yeah. What do you use when to find these people?
So all of the people I've hired, this is gonna sound crazy, but I hired them all through Snapchat or Craigslist.
Oh, okay.
Snapchat, all my friends, I just posted my story, hiring $25 an hour. They hit me up. Huh. And I find some good people, but then I also don't find good people, you know what I'm saying? And
Craigslist still a thing?
What?
Is Craigslist still a thing?
Yeah, Craigslist. You should know, seriously, you should try this.
Yeah, no, so I haven't been on Craigslist in years.
You can go on Craigslist, you can pay $3, and you can post job description, like $200 a day, window cleaning, and you put that right on Craigslist. And you, instead of making it a job listing, you make it a gig.
Oh, okay.
Job listings are like $25. You can make it a gig and only pay $3.
Oh, okay.
I think you'll get, here in Atlanta, you'll probably get 20, 50 plus.
Huh.
Because in my area, I got 14. I did it in Jupiter, Florida, and I got 20, 30 applicants.
Oh, okay.
the vetting process.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to. You're gonna
still
have to
weed them out. Yeah.
You're gonna definitely have to weed them out. That's the thing with employees, you know.
Yeah.
Just gotta weed them out.
Yeah. I've primarily used Indeed. That's where I.
Does that work pretty good?
Oh yeah.
With applicants.
It seems like a lot of people look for jobs through Indeed. So
I did just have some success with that, hiring somebody for my brother's business.
Mm-hmm.
I put it on Indeed, and I just got a bunch of applicants for free. And they just want jobs.
Yeah.
And they're like more respectable people. They're on Indeed looking for jobs.
Yeah,
they're
they
not
actually
on
have resumes.
they're not on a Craigslist looking for a gig.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Well, that's another reason I liked Indeed, because you can also put like they have to answer like a series of questions.
Pre-qualified questions.
Yeah, pre-qualified questions. So it kind of weeds them out. Or, you know, a lot of times if they don't do it, I just eliminate their resume without even looking at it. Because I'll say you must answer these 5 questions, and a lot of times they're just sending their resume to several companies, and they're not even answering the questions. And if they're not going to take the time to do that, then
they're not going to take the time to do the job.
Right. Yeah. I want to see that they can follow simple instructions. So I'll say, you know, send me your resume, or like email me your resume, and put Rockstar in the subject heading. And if they don't do that, then, and I'll have it in bold on the job listing.
Really?
Yeah. So they can't say that they didn't see it, and it's usually in the first paragraph. To be considered for this position, you must do blah, blah, blah.
An email with a subject line.
It's nothing hard, but it's just showing me that you read the job description and you're following through.
You could understand it. And
right.
Do it.
Yeah. If you can't understand that, then you're going to have a hard time understanding me giving you instructions on how to, you know, hook up a pressure washer or pressure wash, you know, a certain surface, you know, a way that it's not going to damage.
That's pretty clever.
Yeah.
That's a good thought. I mean, it's crazy how the bar to get a job is so low.
Yeah.
You just have to email somebody.
Right.
And the majority of people don't do that.
Right. Yeah.
Which I don't know for sure. Is that true? Would you say the majority of people don't like follow through with the instructions?
Oh yeah. Yeah. We get. I mean, I'll usually sponsor the job. That's what Indeed calls it, sponsoring a job posting. So you agree to spend like $20, $30, $50 a day, you know, to get a certain amount of applicants. So I guess the more you spend, the more your job's going to keep popping up on the first page when somebody's looking. So, but yeah, we'll get like in a day or two, we'll have like 80 resumes, and then I have to turn it off because I have to go through all of them.
And then do you go through all of them?
I try to, yeah.
Okay. Is that like, because I was in Miami with a mastermind and around a bunch of real estate guys. I was invited from Wisconsin to do some filming, actually, and I was trying to figure out how to hire the right guys, how to put the right guys in place. And they told me how many people did you interview.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I should have thought about that.
Yeah. Well, I don't say that I interview them all. You know, 80. If I get 80 resumes, I'll scan them and be like, you know, that's not what we're looking for. I mean, if they've only got, you know, restaurant experience or, you know, something that has nothing to do with what we're doing, I like to look for somebody that has worked outside with their hands, preferably on ladders. Painters are great. Roofers, you know, anybody that I can see wouldn't be afraid of heights, because you know, every job we're going to be up on ladders doing, you know, window cleaning or gutter cleaning. Not every job, but I mean the majority of it. So I mean, you know, you gotta, you know, you have to respect heights, but not be afraid of a ladder.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Definitely. That's good to look for that blue collar experience.
Yeah,
for sure.
For sure.
For like your scaling, right? You're trying to get 2 more trucks, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are the marketing efforts and sales efforts that you're going to be changing to accelerate the growth to hit those 2 trucks? Like, what's your future plan to aim faster to that trajectory?
Yeah, I think what we're doing right now is working for the most part. I think I just need to spend more on those avenues. I mean, we're doing Google LSA ads, local service ads, if you haven't heard of that.
How much is that bringing in for you?
Well, I stopped doing it in November and just started up today again. You know? Okay. But for a while, I just didn't feel like we were closing as many. But I was also the one answering the phones and trying to keep up with it, where now I have a virtual assistant that is able to manage my emails, my texts, my phone calls, all of that, and then she can respond to those leads.
I think I talked to her.
Yeah, you did.
So a virtual assistant, is she local or is she?
No, she's in the Philippines, but she speaks perfect English.
Yeah, she did. She did speak perfect English. I thought she was your wife or something.
Yeah, no, she's very personable, and the customers have really liked her, and she does a great job. She's good with technology, and a lot of times I'm asking her questions on. I'm locked out of my Google LSAs.
Really?
How do I get? What did I do?
That's awesome. So how much do you pay her?
Well, the reason that I hired a virtual assistant is because it's just so much cheaper than hiring somebody here in the States.
Yep.
But I think she's doing just as good of, if not better, a job than anybody that I could have found here. But I'm paying her. I think I started out at $7 an hour, which felt criminal. So I mean now she's at $9 an hour, but I still feel like that's not enough for what she's doing. But
so that's
just the reality of it. I mean,
so
their price or their cost of living. I didn't mean to cut you off, but their cost of living is so much lower there in the Philippines than it is here in the United States, where
Yeah, we might go there. I might go there and clean some windows.
Yeah, there you go.
Just
might make
live on the beach.
some pesos.
Yeah,
probably wouldn't make a whole lot over there.
I live on noodles.
There you go. That wouldn't be so bad.
So she does the emails, the calls. Is it 24/7 she works?
No, she works normal business hours. I mean,
the business hours here.
Here, yeah, we're open from 8 till 5. She works, and they're 12 hours ahead of us.
So she's working.
So right now it's 3:30 in the morning, and she's working. So she works from 8 p.m. to 4 a.m.
That's really nice. That's exactly what I was looking at on the drive here.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's the best thing I could do? And like overseas admin would probably.
I mean, that was probably one of my, my biggest moves that I've made. I think on the way here I was thinking of, what are the 3 things that I've done over the last 16 years that have really stood out, is really, I felt like were very important, and adding a virtual assistant was one of them. I mean, just having somebody to be able to take on the calls and the emails and the texts, that really opens up your day to take videos for social media, or go around and talk to business owners, or if you're into networking, you can go and have networking meetings with other business owners, and just things that will generate business, as opposed to just answering calls all day. Or she might be answering calls and getting leads, and then she sends them to me, and I'll go out and do the estimates.
And then you're not reacting to the phone call. You can focus on what you're doing.
Right.
You can find things to do, and then those phone calls come, and you're like, okay, let's schedule that for that day. Yeah. That time. You can figure out when to do it.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. When did you do that? Was that last year or this year?
It was late last year.
Late last year.
Yeah. So maybe it was around October, November.
So what does that come out to a month for payroll?
I pay her about $720 every 2 weeks. So about $1,500 a month.
And you say that saves so much of your time.
Oh my gosh, it's a game changer. Yeah, the amount of stuff that I'm able to unload on her, and she, she's happy to do it. I mean, the work ethic over there is so much higher than it is here. They want to do a good job, they want to make money, and a lot of them are, taking care of large families. They may be the breadwinner of a large family.
Yep.
So they've got a lot of people that they're, responsible for.
They like the work.
Yeah.
Here, you struggle to find someone who wants to just put in the basic time to do that.
Yeah.
And I found a lot of business owners talk about that, and you don't say it like it's a bad thing, you say it like it's a challenge to overcome, that's what I hear from you. And a lot of business owners, I feel, they get stuck on that challenge of hiring and trying to delegate and lead, because that's what happens. You change from like a in the field salesperson to now a leader. Yeah. How have you changed in the past 7 years to allow yourself to lead people better?
I try to always, as far as my employees, always try to treat them like I want to be treated. I don't want to come across as, a big boss man that likes to micromanage and pick every little thing apart. And, I want them to feel comfortable around me, like they can come to me with any questions. If something breaks on a job or something, whether it's our equipment or if it's like a customer's vase or something like that, they know that they're not going to get, lose their job. They just need to come to me and let me know.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to get upset. We're all human. We're going to make, mistakes, and there's going to be accidents, especially when you're doing the kind of work that we're doing. We're inside homes. We're cleaning glass. I mean, windows break. Fortunately, there's not a lot of times that happens. But getting back to your question, I try to treat them as much of a person as I would want to be treated, and not like an employee. Sometimes that may not be the best way to manage, but one of the other things that I've done, I was telling you that the 3 things that have been the most important was getting a virtual assistant. The other one is getting a business coach. I've been working with a guy for probably 5 years, and I just bring everything to him. Any kind of questions or problems or challenges, I go to him and ask him, how should I handle this? A lot of times he turns it back around on me like a therapist and be like, well, what do you think? So it makes me think about it. And I'm like, I've been thinking about it all day. That's why I'm coming to you. But it really opens my eyes and really makes me come at it from a different angle. Sometimes it might be the employee's point of view, or it may be, this guy is just not putting in the effort. You need to cut ties with him and move on. He's not producing, but that's one thing that's always kind of helped me get through tough moments is having a coach. Yeah.
Okay.
Especially in understanding your numbers as well. You want to make sure that, for the first 7-8 years, I was just out working and getting checks and depositing them, and that was it.
Just
Yeah.
But
I mean, if you were to tell me, ask me, how much did you make last year? I did pretty good, but I didn't know how much, Or, if somebody said, what's your profit margin? I had no clue. Yeah, I was like, I don't know what that is. But now working with a business coach, he's all about numbers, and, we have charts and we track everything, and we're able to see what's working as far as marketing, what's not working, and cut it if it's not working, or, put more money into it if it is. So. Yeah, it's really opened my eyes as far as like how to actually run a business and not just as a job.
And is he a personal coach, or does he coach multiple people?
He coaches multiple people. I mean, that's his business. He's a business coach.
Coach.
Yeah.
Now,
but sometimes he's my personal coach as well.
Turning it back on you like a therapist, right?
Yeah, right.
And then I'm guessing you figure it out, and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for letting me figure that out myself.
Yeah. Well, he wants me to, put in the work as well. So he holds me accountable, and that's part of it. If I don't need somebody to tell me what to do. I should be able to make those decisions. Yeah, based on all the information.
But it is sometimes really good to get another. I just hired another business coach down in Clearwater, Austin. He's like a phone salesman.
Oh, okay.
Because I was doing a bit of a new sale, like over the phone sales.
Yeah.
Not even to do with window cleaning or power washing, rust protection, like undercoating for the salty vehicles up there to stop rust.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how do I sell this? Because I was trying to fix the seasonitis of Wisconsin because it's cold.
Yeah.
It's colder than 32. It's cold. Like you can't work.
How many months are you able to do your window cleaning?
I'd say 8.
Yeah.
8 months. 8 months.
So you have to do something for the other 4 months.
And that's what we're going to figure out. We're going to figure out this year, probably do more Christmas lights.
Mm-hmm.
Snow removal is an option.
Yeah.
I see that's like probably the best.
Yeah.
Or ice dam removals. Do you guys do Christmas lights over here?
No, but I mean, it's getting really popular around here. You see yard signs everywhere around Christmas time.
So you just do windows in the winter, I'm guessing?
Windows, pressure washing.
You can still do pressure washing in the winter.
Yeah.
Doesn't it get cold, or only in the...
We don't have as much of a demand for it. I mean, my business doesn't, in the winter. I mean, Friday we're going to be pressure washing or soft washing a house and driveway and deck. Today we did a couple of different houses. We did driveways, so it's not too cold to to do that job.
Do you
that
winterize?
service.
So you do your job and then you winterize it? Because I know at night it's like freezing here, right?
Yeah. There's been times where, in the mornings we try to, start up the pressure washer and it's not starting up right away, or the water's not running through it.
Because it's frozen.
Yeah.
And you just let it freeze.
Well, I'll carry a blow dryer, a hair dryer, and an extension cord, and I'll plug it in, and I'll just hang out over
And your pressure washer and it doesn't
just
explode.
Defrost everything. Yeah.
Your pressure washer doesn't explode.
Not yet. Knock on wood.
Holy cow!
So,
I was driving from Wisconsin and I winterized everything before I left the shop.
Yeah.
And I unplugged. I still had water mixed with a little bit of antifreeze in my tank because I was testing it earlier. So I unplugged the filter to drain it all out. Mm-hmm. And while I was driving, it froze shut.
Oh wow!
And it only had like 50 gallons in it.
Oh, okay.
And it was all draining out fast, and it just froze.
Oh no!
So that's I'm surprised. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, it doesn't get as cold down here as it is.
Doesn't it get below freezing?
It'll be below freezing during night and early mornings, but then, by 10, 11, 12 o'clock, it's above freezing, and like right now, it's 60.
Yeah, it's nice.
I mean, it's nice weather. So, it's not as much of a concern, and I just keep all my equipment in our vans.
So inside the van, that probably helps.
Yeah, because it's not like super insulated or anything like that, like in your shop, But it's I haven't had any issues with my equipment failing because of the freezing temperatures. Yeah, knock on wood.
Gosh, that's lucky because I've had encounters with that in Wisconsin.
Oh, I'm sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
So future-wise, like, what's your biggest marketing? Would you say is LSA?
No, believe it or not. Well, I mean, I've got a company that I have that does my SEO. Mm-hmm. So they built my website, they manage it, and they try to get us, at the top of the first page of Google. Sometimes hesitant, or I'm just, I don't know. I'm just not sure that it's doing what I hope, but it's only because I don't understand it. I don't know what they're doing behind the scenes. And, you just got to hope that they're doing, I'm just not a very techie person. So
it's very competitive here to see progress.
Yeah, right. And there's a ton of window cleaning companies and pressure washing companies, and how am I going to get above any of these other guys that are doing the exact same thing I am? But we do spend a good bit of money on SEO, and then that's worked out, I think, for us. I mean, every month we get about a four times return on what we're spending, which is always good.
From organic?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, that's good.
And then door hangers have always been great for us.
Really?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a numbers game. About every 100 that you put out, we get about one job out of. But I mean, it's
so you put 1,000 out. That's
it's very inexpensive.
So do you hire like a runner?
Well, yes and no. I have hired runners, and I haven't had great experience with that. Either they just didn't put them out, or they just disappeared.
Yeah.
And they took my door hangers, and So I try to have my guys that are doing work at a house. They put out about 10 to 20 around the house that we're working on.
Okay.
If we just don't have any business for that day, like during the winter months, there's days that we just don't have anything, or we might have one small job. So the rest of the day, they're just putting out door hangers. I'll just send them to certain neighborhoods that I know have enough homes that they can just knock out 100. So
like 20 to 30 around. Most people do like 5 round. You do.
Well, it all depends. I mean, there are certain neighborhoods where all these houses are cookie cutter, and they're right next to each other. So in that case, you can put out 20 or 30. Mm-hmm. But then there's other parts of Atlanta that these, massive homes are on like acre lots, and you can't possibly go and, do more than a few. But so it all depends on the area. We like to do 20 or 30, but sometimes it's only 5 or 10.
So most of the door hangers you use is just around the job that you're already doing.
Yeah, but unless we're just slow or the guys are finishing up early, and because I pay them an hourly wage. A lot of window cleaning companies pay a commission. How do you pay your?
I do a commission or daily rate.
Okay.
So it's either like $200 a day or the percentage of revenue.
Okay. Yeah, I've always done by the hour. So I try to book them as much work as I can to fill up the day. Sometimes they finish really early. If that's the case, I'll be like, hey, y'all put out some door hangers because they're still on the clock getting paid. Sometimes they just don't have any more door hangers in the van and there's nothing else to do. So I let them come on back and go home early that day.
Okay. So LSA and door hangers.
LSA, Google LSA, door hangers, SEO. We've done Facebook ads in the past that worked out. I mean, we got business, but the problem with that, we had put out an offer for like 10 windows for $100 or something like that. Wasn't a great deal, but in the consumer's eyes, it's like, oh, that's a great deal, 10 windows. But we're hoping that when they call, we're going to go out and
do
everything. Not many homes have just 10 windows. They have like 40, 50 windows, at least the homes that we're targeting. But the problem with the Facebook ads, we got so many people that just were like, I want these 10 windows done.
Really?
Yeah. So we're driving all over Atlanta, which is a big metropolitan area. And, you can get stuck in traffic for an hour and so we were just driving all over to do 10 windows here, 10 windows there, and
$100, $400 a day.
Yeah, it wasn't even worth it. You're hoping that they call back the following year to have it done, but I haven't found that.
So would you say
got a lot of repeat business? I think they were looking for the next deal.
Okay.
So I may have been that guy this year.
He was the $99 guy.
It's going to be somebody else, another $99 guy.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
I was a $99 guy this year. I got the short end of the stick.
We've all been.
Yeah.
You're just trying to get business.
I was in Florida. I was like desperate. I needed some money last year. And this guy was like whittling me down, pressure washing. I'm like, $100, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And I had like this Harbor Freight pressure washer. It broke on the job.
Oh, no.
The surface cleaner was clogged, and he had to give me his fishing wire. He gave me a tip because I was struggling so bad. But and I did it at night. A friend gave me a headlamp.
Oh yeah.
So it was just we've been there.
Yeah.
I've been there.
Yeah.
Do you think those Facebook ads would have been different if you had a different offer?
Yeah, maybe. I mean,
because maybe you attracted that crowd of cheap.
Yeah.
But if you gave an offer that was higher class, maybe, or higher ticket.
I was actually having somebody else do the ads for me, just because I'm not very techy, and also I knew this other person was having a lot of success with his, but he was also in Arizona. So it might have been just a different type of market, maybe $10 for 100 or $100 for 10 windows might have been just a better deal over there, or people were more responsive to getting all of them done. But I was just having somebody else do it, and basically he was doing all the graphics and basically the whole ad. So after doing that for about a couple months, long enough to figure out it wasn't really working, I just kind of cut
Were
it
you
off.
getting like profit, or was just all like?
No, we weren't. We were breaking even pretty much, and that's not what I want to do. I want to at least 3x, my investment. So
definitely.
If I'm breaking even, I'm really kind of losing money.
Now you were touching on recurring revenue on the residential side,
right?
And this has been a new thing kind of on the internet, just building that recurring revenue base. Have you implemented a system in order to get more recurring residential revenue?
Yeah, that's a great question. Yes, we are putting something together. We haven't really started pushing it as much, and it's probably just on me because it's change and it's hard. You know, it's like, how do I do this without being like salesy or? But I think a lot of companies are coming around to this subscription-based model where people are going to have their windows cleaned. I don't know about monthly. That seems a lot, but at least 2 to 4 times a year. almost kind of like the pest control companies. They never sell a one-off type of service. You're going to sign up and they're going to come out once every couple months to treat all your insects, or
Yep.
or a landscaping company or something like that. I think window cleaners in America are trying to come around to that model,
Yes.
so where they can have that repeat business throughout the year. And if you're doing a really good job, and people are less likely to move their business to another company.
Yes.
We also try to send text messages and emails to all of our customer base. We don't want to bombard them with a lot, but we still want to stay in front of them to remind them that, hey, we were the guys that cleaned your windows really well last year. Don't forget when you're ready to have it done again that we're here. So it's more of just reminders that we're here. We also every month we'll send out an email with an offer, a discount, to try to generate a little more business from our current customer base.
How many current customers would you say the company has?
I think last time I checked, it was around 4,500.
4,500 customers since 16 years.
It doesn't seem like a lot to me, being 16 years, but
it seems like a lot to me. That's crazy.
Yeah,
4,500. That's a lot.
Yeah. A lot of them move, and a lot of them die, and but that's.
I should have asked how many existing customers, not dead ones.
I don't know. I don't know what our. I probably should know this, but I don't know what our recurring rate is, or how many people are actually calling us back each year. I could dig into it and kind of get a feel of how many. Every month I do track.
Do they call you back, or do you call them and set up are you setting them up on a contract?
No, but that's what I want to try to start doing, is giving them like a certain percentage off if they do it twice a year, or a higher percentage if they do it 4 times a year. But a lot of them, they'll email us or text us, and or they'll call us to get on our schedule again. Especially as we're coming into spring, we're having a lot of people already calling, wanting to get on our April and May calendar.
You were saying you do a report like every month?
Yeah. Part of the stuff that I do with my business coach, we track everything. So every month I'm looking at all the business that we had. I'm trying to see how many new customers we had each month, and then also how many customers in all that we did. So I could go to that report and actually give you those numbers. Yeah. I just don't have them off the top of my head, but it is something that we measure.
So you started the business coach 5 years ago?
Correct.
And before that, did you do any tracking or?
Nothing.
So 5 years ago, you weren't even keeping your gas.
It was embarrassing. When we started talking, he started asking me these questions. I'm like, really, man, I don't know anything about all of what you're talking about, so just talk to me like a 5th grader and just kind of ease me into it.
Okay, and then
it was very easy, and the transition, just an eye-opening,
so that's what I was feeling, that kind of energy, like that eye-opening energy.
Yeah.
And those 5 years ago when you got that business coach, what would you say? You started tracking everything, right? What would you say is, like, even before we started tracking it, you're probably sure, like, hey, I should track revenue, expenses. You probably knew, like, you should probably do that.
Yeah.
But after the business coach, he told you revenue, expenses, and then what other metrics did he have you track?
I really wasn't doing a whole lot of marketing.
Okay.
It was just a lot of word of mouth. I wasn't even like reaching out to my database. So my customers, for the longest time, I wasn't even getting like email addresses or anything. I would just book them and move on to the next one.
Did you get their number though?
Huh?
Get their number?
Oh yeah, I'd have their phone number. So I mean, I could text them and be like, "Hey, it's been a year since you've had your windows cleaned," But yeah, I mean, we check. Let me think. We'll look at the marketing. We have a whole dashboard for marketing. We track all of the different, door hangers and Google, Facebook ads and all those. See what's working. We also have, we track how many customers we're getting each month, and it's just a lot of information.
On the marketing side?
Yeah, on the marketing side and the business side, just the analytics and understanding how much you're making, how much you're spending on expenses.
Okay.
That's a huge thing, because we're spending a lot of money on insurance and workers' comp. You know, we have, I have a couple of trucks that are being financed as well, and, you know, so, I mean, there's a lot of things that I wasn't tracking at all. I didn't know that I was spending X amount of dollars every month, and now I'm like, oh my God, you know, how do I trim that down so I can make more profit?
Yep.
So
then for you, right, you talked about SEO, right, and how that ranks you higher. How have you been, these last couple of years, been focusing, how have you been trying to get more 5-star reviews on Google?
Well, we had an SEO company that was really good at that, and that was kind of the only thing that they were good at, was getting reviews. So they were really sending out emails and getting people to reply with a review. You know, they kept sending out those review emails, and they wouldn't stop until the customer actually went on and left us a review.
That's
so
good.
I mean, we went from like 50 5-star reviews to 250 in like a matter of a few months. And
really?
It just skyrocketed.
Who's this SEO company?
It was Haibu.
Haibu, okay.
Yeah, they were really good at that, but they started getting really expensive whenever you wanted to add something or, you know, do a mass emailing or anything.
They try to upsell?
It was, what's that?
They try to upsell you.
Yeah, and it was getting to like $2,400 a month, and I was like, you know, there's got to be somebody doing the same thing at a better price. And
in the Philippines.
Yeah, right.
My virtual assistant could do that.
Yeah.
So
we've changed SEO companies a couple times. Right now I'm with a company out of Texas.
I think Brad told me that you mentioned the most important thing was the CRM.
Oh yeah, that was the third thing. So yeah, I'm glad that you mentioned that. Virtual assistant, a coach, and a CRM. That was a game changer as well, because I didn't have one until about 2018.
Wow.
I just had notebooks full of information, and they were all, you know, I'd have them in a filing cabinet or something. But if somebody wanted, you know, that called me in, I don't know, 2012, and it was like 2015, I'd have to go to that drawer and pull out the old notebook of estimates and find them in there.
Wow.
Yeah, but the CRM has just been a total game changer, because you're able to do your estimates, your invoicing, emails, everything out of that.
What CRM do you use now?
We use House Call Pro.
And how's it been for you?
It's been good. I mean, it started off reasonable. Now I feel like I'm spending a little more.
How much is it now?
I think I'm paying around $350 or something.
Okay.
And I know that there are probably other CRMs out there that probably save me money, but the act of actually moving all of my customers from one platform to another seems overwhelming.
You know what?
I'm like, I don't know if I trust it.
You know, Scott, I was thinking about that, because I switched CRMs too many times.
Oh, really?
Like, I'd say stick with the CRM you got.
Yeah.
Just eat the money, or find one and stick with it. But I kept switching 7 different CRMs.
Oh, really? What are you using now?
I use Homebase 360, which is just a simple, bare bones system for all the employees. It's very simple.
Yeah.
I used to use Jobber, which is, I think House Call Flow and Jobber are very similar.
Yeah.
And I also use Go High Level now.
Okay. That's something that I'm looking into as well.
Go High Level for inbound traffic. So Facebook ads or meta leads. Basically, what I found is probably the best setup is either have like House Call Pro, Jobber, or Homebase, some field routing system, some field communication system to do the reviews, upsells, invoices, quotes, all that stuff, and then Go High Level pre-sale.
Okay.
So the pipeline, you know what a pipeline is?
Yeah.
Like from new lead all the way down to proposal sent,
right,
closed, scheduled, and then they're off.
Yeah.
And then you forget about them on Go High Level.
Yeah.
So Go High Level is sales generating, and then your other software. But I switched CRM so many times.
Yeah, House Call Pro has a pipeline as well that I've paid extra for.
Okay.
So it kind of, you know.
How much extra?
Oh gosh.
Probably $98 or something.
It was probably $75 to $100 more.
Because that's what Go High Level costs, about $98.
Oh really?
Or $85 a month.
Yeah. And I think it's got a lot more features than what I just paid that for that one service.
It's got automations and
but now, So now I don't have to follow up with each customer. It'll automatically.
What I was
go.
trying to tell you is that the CRM, switching to CRM, is so much easier than going from notebook
Yeah.
to CRM.
I'm sure.
Because I could just imagine you pulling that up, writing these things down.
Oh,
How long
yeah.
did that take?
Oh, I don't know. It was. I'm sure I had help from my wife and.
Ages.
Yeah.
Days.
Yeah.
Who's this one? What's that say?
Yeah, I can't read that. We probably lost some customers along the way.
It's-
In the CRM.
That happens. I was in Florida. I had a customer factor.
Yeah.
Watch out when you're using customer factor, guys. It's $49 a month.
Okay.
It's super cheap.
Yeah.
But once you leave, you can never go back.
Okay.
So I didn't know that, and I just
Oh.
canceled. I'm like, I'm done with this. I'm leaving
And then
Florida.
you decided that you wanted to go back, and they
Well,
were like,
no,
"No,
well-
we don't want your business."
Then they emailed me and said, I deleted all your contact information. Your office system. I'm like, customer factor, are you serious?
Yeah.
I'll pay you $100 right now if you just like
yeah.
save
Go
my
find it.
data.
Yeah.
We got all these companies like Google, Meta trying to save our data.
Yeah. I know. They're
Why is
getting rid of
customer factor deleting my data? I
Yeah.
want you to keep
They
it.
make room for someone else, I guess.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But Scott, exactly. How can the viewers reach you?
Oh, well, you can reach me by email, scott@windcleanplus.com, or they can give us a call at 678-907-7971. Those are the two best ways.
And then any social medias?
Yeah, we've got Wind Clean Plus on Instagram and on Facebook.
Okay.
So, yeah, we're just trying to put more content together. It's, I try to put out videos or take videos when I'm on the job site when I can.
He's taking on social media. Okay, so watch this. He's
not
coming.
very well.
So a Facebook page, I'm guessing, and Instagram.
Instagram, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for
Yeah.
being on the show. It was a pleasure, man.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, it was a treat.
And I'm sure the audience has a lot of information that came from this, and they're gonna be able to build their business a little better.
Well, hopefully so. I'm always happy to help. It's always fun talking shop with somebody else in the same industry.
Sounds good. Now you gotta go to a hockey tournament.
No, got a son's soccer practice. Yeah.
Staying active.
Yeah.
Gotta stay fit. Under 350. So
Yeah.
the son can get on the ladder
That's
and clean
right.
the
He's
windows.
got to take over this business.
He's got to take over the business. And ladders can only hold so much.
That's right. Got to keep him fit.
All right. Well, that's all we got time for today. We got to get out of here before they kick us out. But
Yeah.
it was a pleasure, man.
Yeah. Thank you. I really.